recovery is hard and it takes time. As I was gaining weight, I was sad, I was anxious. So don't expect to be happy about the weight gain, but it gets easier. Today, I wanted to make a video about how to cope with weight gain during anorexia or bulimia recovery. Are you happy now? I thought that when I lost weight, I would just become this person that could relax and enjoy, having a great bikini body or looking amazing in leggings or something. But the reality was I actually became a really anxious, paranoid person. And instead of having constant thoughts about my body fat, I was having constant thoughts about the food I was eating and exercising and not sitting for too long. And so I never really got to relax. I never really got to enjoy my new body because it just became this thing I was constantly worried about. So it is going to be much better to gain weight or deal with our natural body weight than it is to restrict ourselves and lose weight and still have all of those insecurities and intrusive thoughts. The other thing I would say is I think we all have this goal of having a perfect relationship with food while also having our dream body. I think it's portrayed that way a lot on social media, in TV and movies. It's portrayed that you can have this amazing body, these perfect curves, but no cellulite. Perfect curves, but completely flat abs and like very slender arms. And at the same time, eat whatever you want. But that's not true. And I was chasing both forever. And I thought I could get there. And I think that's the lies that our disordered habits tell us. They tell us that one day we're going to be happy. One day we're going to be able to have our dream body and not worry about food and not worry about calories. But it's not true. You can't have both. So if you are starting a recovery journey and you need to gain weight, stop weighing yourself and stop body checking. When I have been struggling the most, I've also been body checking the most. Touching, feeling if I've gained fat, if my muscles are less defined, if my bones are less palpable. It messes with your mind. Even if you're not weighing yourself, these body checking behaviors get in your head, and you'll find that it has probably become an automatic behavior. Going along with that is going to be looking in the mirror, especially full-length mirrors where you can, see every part of your body, and you can stand with your feet together to see how big of a gap you have between your legs, or how bony you look, or like how slim your waist looks, turning to the side, seeing like how big your butt is. All of these things reaffirm our insecurities to us. Obviously, try not to weigh yourself. Try to get rid of the scale. Because, the numbers are going to go up. But don't let it get in your head. And I know it's hard. It's going to take diligence to stop these behaviors. But I promise it will help you. My other piece of advice is if you are someone that is constantly on Instagram looking at people that you want to be like, celebrities, models, whatever it is, try to stop. Go on a cleanse. Go on a social media cleanse. Unfollow people that you are jealous of. We can never look like someone else. Even if we got to the exact weight that they are, we're probably not the same height as them. Your bone structure is different. Your genetic predisposition to cellulite might be different. You will never be another person. So put a stop to that eating disorder voice that's telling you, if you just restrict enough, if you just stick to your diet enough, if you just exercise enough, you're gonna look like X person. It's not true. And I'm so happy that we are having this body positivity movement. And I'm so happy that celebrities are talking about their insecurities. It's really helpful. I know for me, when I was I was young, because of course when I had anorexia, I was a teenager. I looked up to people like Taylor Swift, and at the time it was like 1989 era, and I remember Taylor looking very underweight, very skinny, and I thought she was perfect. I thought she had the perfect body, and I couldn't believe how she could just naturally maintain that and have all this energy on stage and perform and like eat whatever she wanted and have that perfect body. And now she has come out and said that she was actually struggling a lot. She was struggling with insecurities and comparing herself to other people and seeing herself in paparazzi photos, and she was restricting herself and she was exercising too much. And it's so refreshing that celebrities are now able to say that. It just helps give us all a reality check that we cannot have the perfect body, we can't be underweight and have zero insecurities and have a perfect relationship with food. It's not possible. Another thing to keep in mind as you're gaining weight is that it's good for you. I know. We don't want to hear it. We know this already. We know that body fat's essential. We know that it's good for our hormones. We know that we need it to have a properly functioning menstrual cycle. We know these things, but just remind yourself of that. Like, it's healthy. It is healthy. It can be helpful. And a mantra I used to recite to myself a lot was, what makes me gain weight is good for my hormones. What makes me gain weight is good for my hair. Reciting those things helps alleviate a little bit of that anxiety about overeating, gaining weight, whatever. So another thing to keep in mind is women have more body fat than men. We have a lot of fat tissue in our breasts, and we have hips that are designed to bear children. So we do have wider hips, and we're gonna have fat, we're gonna have cellulite. That's just how it is. And I used to compare myself to super like ultra marathon running crazy athletes. I used to compare myself to underweight celebrities. I used to compare myself to children and people that haven't gone through puberty, and I wanted that body, but that's not realistic. As women, we have fat. Another tip is, as you gain weight, you're going to change sizes and you're gonna stop fitting into your old clothes, and it's okay to get rid of those. Already tell yourself, I don't fit into these anymore. It's hard. Buy yourself some new things, some cute oversized things like baggy sweaters. I'm in sweatpants. Buy yourself clothes that you can enjoy and feel comfortable in as you gain weight, because it's hard. It's hard when you put on a pair of jeans and they're tight. Like for me, even now, so many years into recovery, like just yesterday, after I washed and dried my jeans, they shrink a little bit, and putting them on, feeling tighter, it gets in my head, it triggers something in me, and I think, oh, did I gain weight? To this day, it's hard for me, but you have to remind yourself, clothes are just there's seasons. They're not gonna fit every day. They're not. And it's okay to get rid of them. The last thing I want to say is, if you are starting a recovery journey, you might be ready to recover, but that doesn't mean you're going to be comfortable and happy gaining the weight. And when I started recovering, I was fighting tooth and nail to maintain restrictive behaviors, to maintain that low body fat. As I was gaining weight, I was sad, I was anxious. I was more sad and anxious than I ever was while I was actively engaging in anorexia. It's hard. It's not going to magically get better, but with time, it gets easier. You stop gaining weight eventually. Like at first, you're going to gain a ton, and it's going to feel like a ton, and you're going to be eating a ton, and your appetite's going to be crazy out of control. But it it does regulate. Your body knows what it's doing. It knows how to recover. It gets easier. And I mean, I'm not talking in a few days. I'm not talking in a few months. It might take a few years. But a few years is a drop in the bucket compared to a lifetime. You don't want to live a lifetime of misery. Recovery is hard and it takes time, but it gets easier. So don't expect to be happy about the weight gain and happy about the body fat. You won't. You won't be happy about it, but it's okay. As a final thing, I have like a jiggly stomach. I just had a baby, so I have a lot of stretch marks. Like that. I promise you I have cellulite. I don't want anyone to ever compare their body to me. And maybe you are even heavier than I am, and it's all good. You are so beautiful. You are so perfect the way you are. I don't want you to feel like you need to change anything. Recovery it's hard, it sucks, but it gets easier, and I am so proud of you for doing this, and I'm hoping to make more videos about my experience, and I hope that you join me on this recovery journey. So thanks. Bye.